Welcome back. Oh, sorry. Welcome back to the Rock and Roll channel. Got my friend. Hadn't got to talk to him in a while. Asked him to come on, and as always, he's so gracious with his time. Brian Smith from Locked On Seminoles. And Brian, man, when I was gallivanting in Europe on a 2-week cruise, trust me, I was listening to your content at night. Locked On Seminoles, your podcasts. I appreciate it. You really kept me in the loop while I was out of the country. Not saying like poor me there. It was a great trip, but I just really appreciated your coverage as always. And I'm not just saying that because you're a friend.
Absolutely. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, I did. Great stuff. And what I've really appreciated lately, I guess this is the Put Over Brian segment, is you're hitting the topics that I'm finding a lot in the media. And I'm not trying to be critical because I've been told I've been too much of that lately. Is afraid to talk about these days. Norvell's status. A lot of them have just kind of thrown up their hands and say, well, we're stuck with him. Let's just pump some sunshine and rainbows. And I love that you haven't been. So thank you, sir.
Honesty is the best policy in my opinion. And I don't think that's really going to change today.
No. And likewise here. I've been told how's being negative help. Well, how's being fake honest? Fake going to help either. It doesn't. But Brian, you've talked about it. Looks like Florida State's had a little bit of a recruiting surge lately.
Yeah, they've gotten a few kids. I just did a podcast that went up this morning on Tuesday, and CJ Oha Bunwa, he's a kid from Greater Atlanta Christian, just committed. For whatever it's worth, I expect them to get Marquise Fennell, running back / SWAT, out of Valdosta. I think they're going to get Sam Lejeune. Maybe not. Cal might get him, but he would probably be the highest rated guy in the class they got him. He's a kid out of Poplarville, Mississippi, a really good defensive lineman. Stephen Thornton, defensive lineman that did well at their camp. Real long kid. They got a good shot at him. And there's a few others, but they're probably ahead of where I thought they would be considering the dire circumstances around Norvell's job status. So to that, they deserve credit.
That's my thing is I would imagine these young men with agents now. I mean, it's crazy we're in the world of college players with agents, but it's happened in other sports before. People don't realize that. Baseball players were able to have agents for a bit and go to school because of the major league system and how that worked. But anyway, I got to imagine they're telling him, yeah, this coach is not stable here. And they have that before they even show up on campus to deal with.
I don't think the agents have much to do with it, though. You just turn on the TV.
Yeah.
I mean, the agent's just the reinforcement. So I think a lot of the kids are going to take this as, if he's here, I'll stick. If not, I'll make my decision later.
Yeah, I mean,
that's it.
I don't know how to feel these days anyway with commitments, especially this time of year, because with Norvell's job status, with NIL, if a kid we get now and then all of a sudden he blows up his senior year, maybe a school like Ohio State or Texas says, you know what, we're going to double their NIL.
There's nothing you can do about that if you're Florida State. And I wouldn't blame a young man either.
I wouldn't either.
By changing money, that's an understandable circumstance.
No, I agree.
State's got to deal with that and just move forward to the next guy. There is no repercussion that you can overcome when it's like that because money talks. So
money always talks, especially in this day and age. I'm not asking us to compete with the Ohio States and the Texases of the world in that regard, but the Louisvilles, the Pitts, the Virginias, yeah, I do. I just think, and I want to get your opinion. We haven't talked in a while, Brian. They came out with this narrative about, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, that we're broke, that we have no NIL. I paused on that. I'll give you my reasons why, but I was wondering what you think on that current narrative.
You can't put it in a quantifiable term because kids are still getting NIL. But like, I know there was concern about what it was going to be. I think it's a little better than what people might have thought, but they don't have the money to go after the big name guys.
No.
So they're cut off at the knees. I don't care if it was Bowden in his heyday. He ain't going to win no titles or even come close without players. So this is the old rock and a hard place. It's obvious because like they're not even in the discussion for the elite players.
No.
So that's a problem. So in that sense, they don't have NIL because I think most of the people that say that, Jeremy, are talking about it from the standpoint we consider ourselves to be an elite program. Well, once upon a time, yes. Florida State's a mid-level football program.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They are Pittsburgh. That's what they are. Until NIL is fixed, they are Pittsburgh. Now, fans can throw things at the TV or whatever they want that they're watching this on, but it's still true. So if Norvell is jettisoned after the 2026 season or whenever, will more money come in? But more importantly, I've said this many times on my show, it's the biggest problem they have. They're not going anywhere regardless of the coach unless they get a big name booster to throw down. When I mean throw down, I mean throw down.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter. Now, they can be better. They'll be better coach maybe, but you're not winning titles without it.
No.
I said this on my show a couple of times and on a couple other shows. I think A&M will be the first $100 million roster.
Which will make Texas go 120.
Well, I mean, there are about 10 or 12
saying. It's going
schools.
to be a domino. Yeah.
There are about 10, 12 schools that can really spend. Miami, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon, USC, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. LSU, I don't think can sustain it long term. Georgia could, but they don't want to.
They don't want to.
And that's Tennessee, maybe. Like, they got some pretty deep pockets, but that's about it. Michigan, they can. I don't know if they'll go into that or not.
Notre Dame.
That's a pretty limited pool of
Notre Dame
schools.
could if they wanted.
Oh, yeah. I said, yeah, they definitely have.
If they
their
wanted.
endowment is insane.
Oh.
But it's Catholic Church. That's all it matters. They don't even touch
right. And how many corporate Fortune 500 guys do they have in Chicago that can just stroke a check?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they're fine. But you're at like 12 schools that can win it if we go down this path. But there's no way to curtail it either. So it's a problem for the TV networks because I think within 3-4 years, like it's always been top heavy at college football, it's going to be very linear with where we're going. And like, let's use it as an example. You mentioned Notre Dame. They play Florida State pretty consistent with the quasi deal that they have at the ACC. Well, those games are important, and Doak Campbell Stadium is important. But if Notre Dame's coming in and winning 42-17 every time, the networks aren't going to be happy. It's like there's no way to fix it, though, because the boosters are just with certain programs. It's just kind of the way it is. Like the Miami situation, they got a couple of guys like that run that city in terms of construction, like the big construction company. That's where they get all their money. It's all been unlimited resources. It has nothing to do with Cristobal in terms of some of the kids because it was like it's close. The kid might go one way, but if you're going to offer an extra $500,000, you're going to get them.
Right. But that being
What's
said,
the problem?
I pushed back a little because I said even if we had more money to compete for the bigger names like you talked about, I don't trust Mike to get them. He's proven that.
Well, you've got to be a pretty good recruiter, and that's the biggest drawback, without a doubt.
Yeah, you still got to, like, you can say what you want about Cristobal. Yeah, like Darian Mensah was a bought kid. Like, I don't.
They bought him.
They bought him. Plain and simple. They went to, like I said, they went to Duke's pro shop and just bought a quarterback and said, "We'll take your receiver
Well
too."
said.
I mean, that's the way I explained it. But these high school kids, Mario is relentless. He's the type of guy that'll text you 7,000 times in a day. He will call you 9,000 times. He's not going to get outworked for a recruit. He may not get him, or he may get him, but he's not going to be because of outworked. That's not the case with Norvell. You still have to, the Ryan Days of the world, they're still relentless. Sarkeesians, they're still relentless recruiters at these schools. And that's where we've been lacking with Mike. So I don't think it's all NIL. I think you still have to put in the work.
It's not one or the other, it's both. But NIL ends recruitments for a lot of kids. So like A&M's going to sign like 5 out of the top 15 players from the state of Florida this year.
Yeah, and they got the kid from St. Thomas, right?
A&M?
Yeah, O lineman, I think, right, or D lineman.
Oh, they got the offensive lineman. Yeah,
Mark.
I mean, they got Caden Henderson out of Jesuit.
You get it out of Mario's backyard, and that's his bread and butter.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got a really good staff that have ties to that area and all that stuff. True. But the money is a big part of it. A&M would not be in this conversation.
No, he'd go to Miami.
They have like 3 seasons of 10 wins in 25 years.
And they haven't won a national title since The Wizard of Oz was in the movie theaters.
That's what I mean. It's just
It's a crazy.
they're the most underachieving program in major
Right.
college football in the last half century, conservatively, probably the last 100 years. But
Yeah.
the bottom line is they got the money right now, and it's in a way that it's not close. Like they're willing to spend it. They do have great facilities, and they're in the right league. But how does Florida State compete? Well, the answer is they can just go so high. Like
Yeah.
I don't know the next year Florida State will legitimately be able to win 10 games in a regular season. With their NIL, they'd have to hit every inside straight with the ball bouncing, special teams, and like
Right.
fumble recoveries. It's not realistic.
Like a Notre
So-
Dame 2012 season where
Exactly.
remember all those bounces they got that year?
Yeah, that's
I
exactly.
know I'm going back
That was
a
a
little
really
bit.
good football team, but that they won every close game. They should have been probably 9-3.
Yeah.
And that happens, but the point is still the same. Florida State isn't going to out talent teams anymore because of their NIL. So again, the biggest thing, like, well, okay, you got to get rid of Norvell, you got to get another coach. Their biggest problem is the mega booster.
Yeah.
And you can't create those. You can't design that.
No.
So
Yeah.
that's a problem. Like Alabama's going through the same problem, for those that don't know,
Oh, I agree.
which is really wild. Like their recruiting class is awful.
It's
Now,
going
they're
to
about to get a few kids,
Yeah.
but it's still Alabama. There's no excuse other than like there's an article out, Kalen DeBoer put some comments on, I think it was his rivals are on 3, it's the same company, but he was very passive with how he did it and navigated it, but he was asking for handouts in the article.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was this week.
You ever think you'd see that? But then I look at Luke Laux, and I know I'm pivoting to basketball here. He's getting kids on campus. He's thinking outside the box. I understand he's got the new car smell a little bit, and he had some success his first year. That helps. My thing is, though, I know I'm switching gears here, is I really compare our situation right now to Florida under Napier. They didn't believe in him. They knew he wasn't the guy, and NIL really went stagnant there for a bit. They said we'd rather save it for the next guy that we believe in. And it's showing. Summerall has the new car smell. They're excited there. The checks are coming out. What do you know? Go figure. A new coach brings excitement. And they're getting good recruits there. I really think that's the case with us because we didn't complain about NIL in 22, especially in 23. That team came back because of NIL. Now, I don't know if those donors washed out or not. I'm not sure. But the NIL packages we put together kept Benson and Travis, got you Keon Coleman, kept you Johnny Wilson, kept you Jared Verse, kept you Fabian Lovett, Bethune, Deloach. We were spending then.
The level of money there was not the same, though. Guys were making $300,000 instead of 1.5 million.
True. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's the percentage. Like there are guys going into college that are going to sit the bench that signed for 7 figures.
And then could leave after a year.
Well, I mean, they can.
Yeah.
The teams that are winning know they're going to lose on the NIL front, but they have so much money, it doesn't matter.
Was he expecting more dollars and cents?
I mean,
we also have a AD, and here's where I might get my negative side, is doesn't want to work with Battles End. Now, the Battles End bailed you out with the Desir twins. But I don't want to hear about NIL with us when I watch the ACC special. I don't know if you saw that, Brian. The ACC did that day with Florida State. Yeah, I was a glutton for punishment and watched it. They showed the Desirs going home to visit their family on a nice little private jet, get to wherever they landed in South Florida, and had an Escalade waiting for them there, and went to their nice, beautiful house. I don't know what their financial situation was before it. I said to myself when I watched that, I don't want to hear about NIL Florida State. When I saw that,
I think they're trying to promote that they're not broke. That wasn't, and that's BS. Because if they weren't, I cover recruiting. There's no hiding it. I work with a 7-on-7 organization. Not one of our kids had a major offer from Florida State financially.
And lost the Godby kid.
Kids that are like high SEC level players have Oregon offers, Notre Dame offers, Miami offers. Florida State's not coming close. It's not a coincidence. They're not in the same stratosphere.
Isn't that also just as much as our head coach is a terrible recruiter?
It's a little bit, but like I think they know they can't get certain kids. The new thing is it's not full blown, but you at least get a gauge of where you are. Okay, I
Right.
think this player's worth X. You speak with them and or their family, the agent, whatever. If they think it's way over here, then you just cut bait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, to be honest, it saves you the travel costs and you just move on.
It's just like the visit. Yeah. I agree.
So I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the reasons we don't see as many flips now.
Mhm.
There are only so many, like the elite level kids. They've got a pretty small pool. The exception to that, especially if it's a local kid or it's a legacy, you've got X amount of dollars. You'll spend a little more because of the political side of recruiting. If your dad was an All-American lineman at Tennessee or at Mississippi State or whatever, okay, they might pay a little more for this kid.
The legacy is important.
Yeah. How many are you in those kinds of situations? If
Right.
you're NC State, like the quarterback going to NC State, his dad, I saw him and met him the other day. His dad, played for the Chargers and played for the Colts. I bet NC State probably overpaid. They had to.
Yeah. Just like we did for Hakeem Williams.
Those guys. Yeah. So, except for that, like, how consistently are you throwing out bait to get kids? Florida State's not in that realm. So, that's not anybody's fault, but it's the reality. And the fans still think, like the diehards, we are at this level. You're not anymore.
No.
And that's a problem. I don't know how you can fix it, though.
No, winning.
Well,
winning helps a lot.
They got to win more close. Like, they're awful in close games. That's the thing. They're so, like the Stanford game last year is just one example. The Virginia game last year, for the love of God.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. I mean, they just had to stop one pass over the middle that a linebacker could have, and they could have won that game. They could have been an 8-win team last year, but they were awful in criticals. And a lot of that's just players. And everybody wants to throw on coaches. Players were not clutch last year at all.
No, that's coaching at some point.
Well, they didn't get the right, like drop an interception, a false start, just dumb stuff killed Florida State. And, the quarterback
culture matters too.
Oh, yeah. Their culture is,
otherwise
proven, it's pretty average.
And I don't think NIL fixes that. Like, I really don't. You get better players, but you still have to come into a situation where these kids, young men. Odell Higgins gets mad if I say kids. I love Odell. They have to come in and know, hey, man, I got to put say what you want about Mario. You better work there. You say what you want about Sark. You better work at Texas. Ryan Day. We're talking about these schools that spend a boatload, but they're demanding once you get there. They know they have to put in the work, and they know they got another stud behind them or in front of them that can take their job. We don't have that right now. A lot of our guys are safe. I don't want to hear about certain things, but we got some comments, man. There's some good stuff. No, some recruits at FSU because we can't afford them. Oh, I agree about that. But I think if you win more, the checkbook's open.
Well, that's the key. You got to maximize with what you had before the checkbooks. The checkbooks will essentially increase.
And you've done nothing to raise funds this offseason.
No.
You've done no booster tours. You didn't have a spring weekend. You didn't have events that do raise some money where you get people a little tipsy and they write a check. So you did nothing to sell. I don't understand the last 2 years you can't sell, but I'm saying you did nothing to even promote or rally or do anything. So that's on them there. Even if Mike was a mid-level recruiter, I completely agree with Janet. Let's drop the cooking competitions. Yeah. Yeah, his recruiting trips are kind of corny. They showed yesterday a picture of Mike in the indoor facility playing like laser tag or something with some recruits.
I didn't see the...
Yeah, I saw a picture. I'll send it to you. But that's fine. If we know that to get a better coach, we have to up our ante, the suck tax there.
I think there's some coaches that, just from my experience, some of them think they will be able to get guys to donate after they arrive. in
Mhm.
Tallahassee and get some women to donate after they arrive. That's the nature of coaches. I can get more out of this than the last guy. That's just the
It's ego.
mentality.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you got to believe in yourself, or why are you trying to be a college football coach? So I'm good
yeah,
with that.
I am too. You're saying, oh, I'm not the last guy. That's every coach's mentality. Put me here. Look, I'll show you what I can do. I know one that Woodward chant out loud. If you want to share that with me, I've been talking about that for a while. Alfred has been doing stuff. I don't know what Alfred's up to. I really don't. Someone said to me, not said to me. Corey Clark said, "Man, 2 years ago, I don't know if someone offered him a blank check if he would have taken it or not." So I don't know where his head is at. I don't really care at this point. I'll be honest. I don't have faith in him. I don't have faith in Mike. I think Battle's End got the short end of the stick there. They were really cooking in so many ways, but Alfred did not like them being heavily involved. That's been reported a lot. I'm not just being negative there.
I'm not into that
Yeah,
stuff.
you're
And
not
I
into
try
that.
to
I know.
stay.
I
I
am a
don't
little
like the
bit more.
political part of it. So
Yeah,
I
I
leave
am
that
a little
alone.
bit more because I'm on it. You're great with the recruiting and the team stuff. Anything lately else with this program or anything college football? I don't care. On your mind,
Just
Brian? I love.
from
Yeah.
a football perspective, from a national sport perspective, the NIL is the big concern. What's going on with Congress is never going to pass. So I don't
Oh,
put as
really?
much. It's too broad. It's way too broad.
And how do you enforce it?
Well, that's the other thing. You can't. Under the table payments are already constantly going on because of that NIL Go Fund thing.
Mhm.
Well, you got to pass everything through. They don't do it fast enough. You need it to be done in like 10 minutes. Like deals get made on the table on the spot. You can't agree to that, and the kid commits publicly. Then it goes into that's not how it works.
Right.
So it was never feasible to begin with. So they're just not reporting the deals. A&M's not reporting all these deals. Notre Dame's not reporting all these. There's no way.
Thank you. We're living in a world where we're saying we do or we don't have the money when we have nothing reported. At least in the NFL, you know, this guy signed for this much, and this is the salary cap, and we don't know in college what these young men are making. So we're really just going off speculation.
Well, that's part of it, and like again, can't put the genie back in the bottle. It's not going away; it's only going up. It's going to be about 6 or 7 Big Ten teams, about 8 to 10 SEC teams, Notre Dame, Miami, Clemson or Florida State, maybe, North Carolina, maybe.
I mean, you would have thought Louisville would have, with all
Louisville
that bourbon.
They've
all that bourbon movie?
I don't think their money is good enough now. When it first got rolling, it was, but it's not because they're not getting the kids now. They're not willing to go to that next level. So I think they're going to be 7-5 to 9-3 because he's a good coach.
Yeah,
but they're not going to They beat Miami last year. The next time they play Miami, that's not going to go well. No. Miami's going to remember that'll be 31-13.
Yeah, I
get grinded into the dirt. Yeah, Louisville beating Notre Dame, beating Miami, beating even SMU, who's got money, is going to be difficult. But he's a good coach. They might beat some teams once in a while, but I think they flattened out. Georgia Tech is the new team with money.
Really?
They've got a ton. Yeah. Yeah,
they're a small school. It's impressive.
Well, it's an engineering school, though.
And it's Atlanta. Coca-Cola.
Yeah, there's a lot of money there. Yeah. And they're throwing around. They've got over 20 commitments just in June.
Wow. But their coach is also a relentless recruiter.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. So we'll see what they do. They're the next power that's rising in the league, even more than Virginia Tech. It's Georgia Tech.
But look what VTech's doing.
Virginia Tech's got a nice class, and they've got some money coming in too. So that's good for the league. But Florida State right now they're trying to tread water, and that's not a guarantee.
Brian, this is our boy Tiny Hat. He's talking about Georgia Tech. Those mathematicians have money. Who knew?
Yeah. Well, they didn't want to spend it, though, Tiny. That was the thing. It's one thing to have it. They finally hired a guy that is great at fundraising, and the president, to his abilities to figure it out, has supported football, and they're actually dumping it into the actual sport of football with players in mind, not facilities. So there you go.
if we let them all boys mass schools surpass us, I'm fighting someone. Man, get ready, because we don't have fundraisers. That's what you said. You just said the key part. They have a fundraiser who knows how to. Who's ours? Who's out there in the front lines?
Again, they're kind of in the rock and the hard place because even if they had the same guy, nobody wants to be a part of the Norvell experiment. But there's the 47 million. You lose either way. It's hard.
Tiny Hat's I agree, Warchan. He's a legend. Tiny Hat. We got to get him back on. I think he's going to go on Brian's show sometime.
He'd probably be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be. Hey, Brian, I'm also working on another group panel. I've already got, so I need you for that. I'm putting you on the spot.
Do it in July, maybe.
Yep, as the season gets closer, for sure. But I agree with you on these points. I think I tried not to be so negative this time, even though I could have been more. I just think winning and a new coach that brings enthusiasm and excitement, especially with this fan base.
More no fan base. Get involved. They'll get involved.
Right. The check's open. It's been proven. Even when Mike was winning a little bit, who's not a great fun. Well, we thought he was, because I remember at Memphis, that was something I had heard when we got him. I understand NIL changed after he came, but he was really good with the FedEx people, Mike. They loved dealing with him. Charge $5.99 for the group panel is worth every penny. Man, no. It's for the people, man. We're going undefeated next year until, yeah. Well, we're starting undefeated, Tiny Hat.
Tiny, I'll be down in South Florida pretty soon. I might have to meet up with you and come up with some ideas for shows later this year.
Brian, what about your boy here?
Well, I mean, I know I'll go see you, but
okay, thank you.
Doesn't he live in?
Yeah, he lives 15 minutes from me, and I've never seen him in person.
Does he?
Yeah, he lives
you're both in Broward, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be down in Broward.
Every time we try to say we'll meet up, something happens. We've never met in person. Let's just say that. Tiny Hat's kind of mysterious like that. Yep, we need to link up, Tiny Hat, for sure. We need to get Brian.
Yeah. Just maybe we just do our own little podcast or something. The three of us can sit down. That'd be fun.
Set it up. Let's do it, man. That would be awesome to do a live show together.
Absolutely.
I like that, man. Brian, anything else? I promise I wouldn't keep you that long.
Not really. Just kind of waiting for this recruiting cycle to slow down. There's commitments going all the way out until mid-July, so I'm covering that every day on the Portal podcast in addition to Locked On Seminoles. Mm-hmm. And that's my focus. I'm actually getting ready to go buy a magazine just to go look at, make sure everything's copacetic with the SEC and Big Ten teams and all that. Just
right.
Trying to be as educated as possible about information. That's it.
Yeah, I'm going to start to branch out a little bit as well. Do some SEC talk, do some Big Ten, because I figure if I'm going to travel to these venues, I want to know even more about it.
Absolutely.
So, and I enjoy it. I have really, and not to put anything out, but going to these other venues and hearing perspectives from people who aren't Florida State fans is fascinating. They're much more realistic. They're much more rational. We're emotionally involved. So, like, our fans are like Tiny Hat in a way where, why aren't we undefeated? We're Florida State. And a Tiny Hat, I'm not messing with you there. Do we really have a shot with a 28 four-star quarterback?
I got to research him. He's a kid from Colorado. He's from a good program out there. If he came to camp and he came all the way from Colorado, there's something there. And they recruited him early. This is that relationship thing again. So, I mean, the first thing is, will Norvell be here? We don't know the answer to that. I doubt it. But, I mean, it depends on who stays on staff. I'm not worried about that kid or any one kid because recruiting is still always about relationships first, and then NIL gets you over the finish line. And I assume that kid's pretty good. I haven't seen him live, so I really don't know. But if he did quotes with the local media and stuff, like, War Chant, all that kind of stuff, then he's probably a pretty good player. They're not going to waste their time interviewing him. And secondarily, he's not coming all the way to Tallahassee from Colorado if he's not sincerely interested. Why would you waste your time? So
I don't care. The interview part, fine. Like, those guys camp out there. They're going to talk to people. They don't care. Showing up, it does mean something.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. Tiny Hat, we love you, buddy. Mysterious. I'm always outside. I've never seen you outside, Tiny Hat. That's why you're mysterious to me. I've only seen you on the screen. Brian, I greatly appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
We got to talk more for sure. Brian, of course, I'm going to link your stuff. Brian, I really appreciate you just willing to talk about the conference stuff, willing to talk about Norvell's status. I think it's been. I've had so many people say to me, "How come your media doesn't hammer him every day, or not do an expose on the guy, but they almost tolerate him for?"
Well, I can answer that question for you. It's very simple.
Please.
The local media, this is how it really works. Nobody wants to hear this. If you hammer in any institution, whether you're in politics or sports, your inside sources go away.
Hmm.
I don't deal with that. I mean, I know some of the guys on the staff just from previous stops and all that. I don't call Florida State.
Oh, okay.
And now, I mean, I wouldn't obviously get anywhere anyway, but I'm going to tell it like it is because I'm not using them as sources. If you're
Okay.
a war chant, man, that is touchy.
It's political.
They're kind of hard to throw out because they're so important to Florida State, but Tallahassee Democrat, 24/7, they cover Florida State. It's touchy, but I've seen it like firsthand. Like when coaches are on the hot seat, the most thin-skinned people on planet Earth are college coaches. Administrators who hired them, their jobs are tied to them. They essentially become the same. So Alford, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he didn't, fire the coach that we all wanted to see get fired, and the administration above him probably have more to do with it, honestly.
Right.
But he's associated with that. So I know this flat out. One of the jobs of people in the office is to monitor sites like mine or yours.
Oh, yeah.
North 24. They want, and the number one thing is what's negative. It's no different than politicians that are running for office this fall. What's negative about it? How do we try to put something out there, even if it's completely wrong, that goes against that?
That's true.
There you go.
That's true. But I think by nature, we have a pretty chill media.
Oh, it is. Florida State's
Compared
media
to,
is
like,
mild
LSU?
compared to a lot of. Oh, LSU's eat dogs on the daily kind of thing. Like they will eat you up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We're not like that.
It's
That's
not.
I wish we weren't, but we are.
Yeah.
Even Florida, they're relentless. I don't
That
think we
media is
are.
a little harder. SEC media is more difficult.
True. That's why, like with LSU, they knew. All right, man. The scene was embarrassing that night against A&M, but we know if we keep this guy, the media is just going to hammer us and him, and it's just going to get toxic. We don't have that problem. I saw a coach eating corn on the cob. That's an omen. We're going to the Natty. Tiny Hat, we're going together. We're going to do a show, me, you, and Brian.
If we go to the Natty, I'll be happy to do a show.
We'll go to Vegas. I'll show you guys around. But, Brian, thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate it. Locked On Seminoles, daily Seminole content, and recruiting updates from Brian. And, Brian, you make recruiting interesting in this time. I don't know how you do. You came on the panel and said we're probably going to lose that kid to Clemson, and we did.
Jamarin,
yeah, you called it. Wasn't surprised. But Brian, I can't thank you enough, man. It's just great to call you a friend and great to have you on the show and talk some ball with you.
Absolutely, appreciate it.
All right, take care, everyone. More of these to come as the season gets closer. We'll break down players a little more, positions a little more. We can talk about the schedule, that stuff. But right now, we're just talking about the stuff we can. All right. Take care, everyone.